True life and music history. The Ants Human Stars podcast. With your hosts, Caleb and Digo. Are you ready? Steady. Go.
And now,
For your listening pleasure,
it's story time.
it's story time.
It's story time.
So I'm going to be telling you guys all about the history behind the song, drumroll, Purple Rain by Prince.
Ooh.
All right. So I doubt the crowd of a little over 1,500 inside the First Avenue nightclub in Minneapolis on August 3rd, 1983, knew they were taking part in something so iconic. They were the crowd of the history-making debut performance of the song Purple Rain, which is also the title song of the album of the same name, and the movie that a year later would propel Prince Rogers Nelson into superstardom.
I forgot there was a movie.
That's right. This was the whole package deal. And I didn't put this in my notes, but I'll just say it in the beginning. Prince was the third artist after Elvis and the Beatles to have the #1 album, single, and movie all at the same time. So yeah, the album itself deserves a whole episode to talk about. I read there's a bunch of really good articles on it, and he worked hard. Dude was a hard worker. But anyways, we're gonna narrow it down, and we're just gonna talk about the song Purple Rain. It was originally written as a country song that was meant to be a collaboration with Fleetwood Mac singer Stevie Nicks. I did not know that. According to Nicks, Prince sent her a 10-minute instrumental version of the song and requested that she write the lyrics to it. But she felt overwhelmed by the task. She said, "I listened to it and I just got scared. I called him back and said, I can't do this. I wish I could, but it's just too much for me." So Prince took the song to his band at the time, The Revolution, and had them take a go at it. Lisa Coleman, which is his keyboardist at the time, said Prince changed the song dramatically after Wendy Melvoin, who was his guitarist, she started playing the guitar to accompany the song. And so the guitar part that starts the song, that's all her. That was her idea and creation. Lisa's quoted as saying, "He was excited to hear it voiced differently. It took it out of that country feeling. Then we all started playing it a bit harder and taking it more seriously. We played it for 6 hours straight, and by the end of the day, we had it mostly written and arranged." And so the song was recorded on August 3rd, 1983. It was for a benefit concert for the Minnesota Dance Theater. It was also the first time that Wendy played live with the Revolution, and she was 19 at the time, and I want to say Lisa was 18 at the time.
All right.
And so these were.
And how old was Prince?
Prince was 25.
Okay.
Which I didn't know he was that young, which I gotta get on the ball. So the song was originally over 11 minutes long, but they cut out a verse and a chorus. And the extra verse was talking about money. He says I don't want your money, and stuff. But they removed it because they felt it diluted the emotional impact of the song, which I completely agree with. They have a recording of that original performance. They recorded this song, and this is the version that's used on the album. So the version on the album, it's technically live. They did some overdubs with the guitar and stuff, but it's live. But they have video of that full performance, so you can hear that third verse that was cut. But I think it was a good idea because it was it didn't need it. The song's great. So they removed it, and the song now clocks in at 8 minutes and 41 seconds. There's also a really long intro that they cut as well. So after the recording of the song, Prince phoned. This is kind of just a fun fact. He called one of Journey's members, Jonathan Cain, because he wanted him to listen to the song because he was worried that it sounded too similar to Journey's song Faithfully, which was composed by Cain, and that had come out recently, and it was a big hit in the US. But Cain assured him that it was fine, and the song only shared a few of the same chords. He's quoted as saying, "I thought it was an amazing tune. I told him, man, I'm just super flattered that you even called. It shows that you're that classy of a guy. Good luck with the song. I know it's going to be a hit." Well, a hit it certainly became. But before I get into all like the chart rankings and everything, so at the time he was recording the album, he was also working on the movie, which has the same title, Purple Rain, which, by the way, the screenwriter William Blinn wanted to originally call the film Dreams, but Prince, insisted on like, no, I want purple to be in the title. So just another little fun fact.
You don't understand how much I love purple.
It's like exactly. So while the album is the soundtrack to the movie, the song itself was the centerpiece of the film and like the main plot point. So in the movie, if you haven't seen it, Prince plays the kid. That's like his name in the film. And one of the big themes is that he has to learn how to be a team player when it comes to his band. And so in the movie, Wendy and Lisa, who are also his Wendy and Lisa of like his actual band in real life, they write the song, but then like Prince ignores it. And then this sparks a rant from Wendy. And in the movie, she's like, every time we give you a song, you say you're going to use it, but you never do. You're being paranoid as usual. And then like at the end of the film, Prince has like this big showdown with the other band, which is The Time. The Time is not just the band in the movie, like that's a real band in real life. And then Prince, after they go on, then Prince's band goes on and he introduces Purple Rain as being written by Wendy and Lisa. And then they played the show and they won and the crowd went wild and it was amazing. So on May 16th, 1984, When Doves Cry was released as the first single from the album. Did I say that right? I feel like I sounded like... So When Doves Cry is the song. I felt like it was like on May 16th, When Doves Cry. So
right.
So the song When Doves Cry was released on May 16th, 1984, and that like quickly just shot up the charts and it hit number one. And that song has its own like whole backstory, which is really cool. Then the album was released on June 25th, 1984, and then by the time the movie was released a month later, the album had already sold 2.5 million copies. So like the album was huge, and then the movie comes out and it just gets bigger. And then Purple Rain, it was put out as a single in September of that same year, but it only peaked at number 2 behind Wake Me Up Before You Go by Wham.
Oh, God.
Exactly. It's just like, really? What were you guys thinking back in 84? Really? Wake Me Up Before You Go was better than who knows? But
well, they were wearing those like light, like faded jeans and those pink sweatshirts, and it just went with that track. It was just white as shit.
It's all right that shout out to Wham and George. But it's okay that the song only went to number 2 because it eventually won Prince an Oscar for Best Original Song Score, which I didn't know that until like a year ago. I was like, wow, I didn't know he won an Oscar for that. So, the song is arguably his signature song. He played it at just about every show after 1984, except for there was a small period of time when he changed his name to that unpronounced symbol, and then he wasn't singing like any of his past music. But coincidentally, or maybe not, it's the last song he ever performed. So during his concert in Atlanta, Georgia on April 14, 2016, he closed his show with that song, and then he died a week later.
Damn.
So people have often wondered what exactly Purple Rain means. Prince himself said it's, quote, when there's blood in the sky, red and blue equals purple. Purple rain pertains to the end of the world and being with the one you love and letting your faith/God guide you through the purple rain. I mean, when I listen to it, it's much simpler than that. It's literally just kind of saying, it seems like he's talking about someone who he would like to be with, but at the minimum, it's just like, hey, let's just be friends. I just want to have a good relationship, and I wish you the best. Like, to me, it's kind of like a different version of I Will Always Love You. But like that same sentiment of like, you're great, but for whatever reason, this can't work. But I wish you nothing but the best. Like, I want great things for you. I don't know. That's kind of my interpretation or feeling of it. Just a little bit of the history behind just that song. There's so much more behind the album and all the work and stuff that went into it. But I thought it was really cool and important to highlight him, because really Prince was like the I don't know, not the first, but again, like I talked about, I don't know, I told you like a while ago how like rock music is seen as like, oh, that's that's white people's genre of music. And yeah, to have like, I thought it was interesting as I was doing like research for the song and everything, I kept seeing everybody was describing it as like, oh, he pushed the boundaries of R&B and pop. And I'm like there's so much rock and some of the things did say dance, but there's so much rock and dance influence in this record. And I feel like a lot of times when it's a black artist, they just automatically say like, oh, it's R&B, even though it's like, no, that's not. But like, and that's a whole nother thing. But having, a black guy who was a rock star, like a true rock star, amazing guitarist, just at the top of the world is that was like a big thing. And then, he really pushed boundaries with the whole idea of masculinity. I mean, you could say the same thing about Michael Jackson, but again, Prince was walking around in platforms.
I mean, Michael was gay. Prince was trans.
I cannot. But no, but that's the thing.
I'm kidding. I like whatever he was.
No. But I was gonna say that, like I said, he did have like this feminine quality, but at the same time, every guy in the world wanted to be Prince because every girl wanted Prince. So it was like he was so secure in his masculinity that he was just like, I can do whatever the heck I want to. Like, I can wear whatever I want to. I think
he was just doing what modern people do today. Like young people, you'll see them and they'll just be androgynous just because it's cool. To be completely against what society is saying this is normal is cool, and he was taking that route. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Exactly. And if it had to do with his sexuality, that was secondary. Like he was putting on this for,
because that was just him just being himself. And so I think he is an important part of Black music history. And this song is like, I didn't even give y'all all those y'all, the listeners, all those like stats, but like the song, it's in like the was it,
Wikipedia?
like the Library of Congress.
Oh, Wikipedia.
It's in Wikipedia. So it's like it's like the Library of Congress has like their, I don't know, songs and albums that they're like, this is this is like
good enough to keep
for like because this has to do with like culture and
for all time.
The album and the song are in there and stuff. It was ranked as number 144 on Rolling Stone's list of 500 greatest songs of all time. But anyways, in my book, it's higher than that.
It's cool to think that like that means that if we're not dead in 1,000 years, there will be like, colonies on wherever, and like his music will have continued on in a hard drive or whatever, in a hologram drive that they send off with these ships into these far unknown reaches of space, because that's the core culture of humanity.
Yeah.
I also will say Prince has always been in my life because Batman has always been in my life. His scoring of Batman 1.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. It's like Money or something, and it's like the Joker's like poisoning the city, and he's doing it with some floats, and he's like on like this parade, and this song comes out.
Oh yeah. I think you showed me that clip or something before, maybe.
Probably, yeah. And what's his name as a Joker? Jack motherfucking Nicholson dancing Ella, and then there's the song. Anyways,
Well, well, there you go. That's my Black history, music history for this episode. But it's such a beautiful song. Go listen to it if you haven't.
Just go to Spotify, look for Prince, and just put it on shuffle. Like just go.
Exactly.
Thanks for listening to the Ants, Humans, Stars podcast with Caleb and Digo. Stay connected and get updates about new episodes by visiting our website, antshumanstars.com, and by subscribing wherever you listen to podcasts. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave us a positive rating and review, and share about us with your community on social media. Thanks, y'all. We really appreciate it.